Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss a Tennessee man busted for selling a Lot B. My name is Steve Akeley. Please join me in welcoming my special guests, Darren McCroy and Lenny Eckstein. Hey, gang, what's up?
Yo.
Hey.
So we're going to talk about this guy in Tennessee, sold a bottle, ends up being a federal agent, and or maybe it's a local authority. I don't remember, but he got in trouble. So we'll talk about that after the break and see what we think about that. But for right now, Lenny said there's something he wanted to talk about. What is that, Lenny?
Yeah, well, it's kind of a thing. What I want to start asking you guys about is, with regards to tipping and the service industry, I feel like things are kind of weird. Like, I think there's always been the expectation that, maybe a tip 20% if it's good service. But what if it's not sit down service and it's more of, I'd say fast casual, but if somebody orders at a counter and takes their stuff with them, well, a lot of times if it's a bar and somebody's making a cocktail, it's still 20% times more. So I don't know if you guys have an opinion. I'm curious to hear your take on tipping. As the owner of a distillery and what's become something of a hospitality establishment by nature of the visitor experience, because we have like a kitchen on site and we make cocktails with our product. We deal with it all the time because we've got bartenders and they talk about tipping and they do pretty well at the end of the night. I'm curious to hear your guys' take on tipping, and then I'd love to share with you a review that had something to do with tipping and one of our bartenders.
Okay. I do think tipping is something that is part of American culture, and I do think you need to evaluate. When you go to a restaurant, I think there's still some potential to tip, even if it is a place where you go and you order at a counter. What's that experience like? Are you picking up your own food, going back to the table, sitting down, eating it, and then throwing away the trash? Well, then. Yeah, I don't know that you need to tip that individual, but or are they bringing it out to you and then taking away the trash? Well, then maybe but it's not 20%. It's different amounts. So I think each individual situation is different. I think you should always see what the situation is, and then also put your service level in. What level of service did you get? So yeah, that's certainly a thing. And another thing I like to factor in too is, especially if you're at a sit-down restaurant, how much time are you there? If you're there and it's busy and you're taking up a bunch of time because you're there with your friends, maybe you haven't seen these friends for a while, and it's kind of a situation where they can't turn over the table as quick as they'd like to, then I think you need to up the tip. I mean, maybe then you're going over 20% because you're taking away opportunities for that server to get more tips. So I think 20% maybe is the barometer, but then you go from there. That can go up or down depending on the situation. That's in my mind how it works. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Darren?
Yeah. Unlike most people from my generation, I still think tipping is a good thing. A lot of people like my age hate tipping. They never do it. It's a whole thing. Huh. But I really, even in college when I was going to bars when I was 21, exactly 21, and
sure,
I would always tip the bartenders for I was just buying $1.50 Busch Lights, but I would tip her $1 almost every Busch Light. It's just something I did, and I don't know. I think it's the right thing to do, especially at bars and other things like that. I think it is a big component, and in the very least, next time you go up for a Busch Light, you might get served a little faster if you want to be selfish about it. But I don't know. I'm a big believer in money's meant to be spent and making other people's lives better, not holding on to it being cheap and stuff. So
okay.
Yeah. So my dilemma, and I don't have an answer really, but the dilemma is that it's become so inconsistent that people do tip 20+%, and then some people don't tip at all. And if nobody tipped, then that's great, and we could just raise our prices 20% and pay our front of house staff a little bit more. But since they tip, we pay them less, and they still make a lot of money. So check out this review I got. I should say. 1 star from Pancho Villa.
Okay.
There is an entitled blonde millennial taking your order, demanding a tip for just taking your order. What a shame. Will not return due to her entitlement. So sad. My response, I don't think you can see it. Bye, Felicia.
Okay.
Don't come back. But I was annoyed at this our bar, because I was like, oh, come on. Like, are you gonna be bankrupt because this one person who ordered food only didn't think it was appropriate to tip and didn't? You had to say something? Like, damn, what's wrong with you?
Right. So you talk to the individual. You don't have to say a name here, but you talk to the individual, and they say, like, yeah, I said something.
Yeah. Well, so I didn't personally have a conversation. Our front of house manager did, but my take was like, if a customer came up and said, "Am I supposed to tip?" and her response was, "Well, people do often tip, but that's up to you," I would have no problem.
Sure.
Quite sure that wasn't the conversation.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's
So
a tough call. Tipping.
Look, problems all around, but hey, I keep tipping.
But I have never been so angry after leaving an establishment that I feel the need to immediately go write a 1-star review on Google. It's just not how I am.
Under a fake name, even.
Pancho Villa, get out of here. Yeah. I totally.
I just don't get the people that do that.
They're terrible.
When I used to work at the zoo, people would write 1-star reviews and be like, "Oh, we didn't see anything that we were there. We were only there for 30 minutes and didn't see an animal." It's like, well, it's a big zoo. Spend more time there. Like, come on now.
Yeah, I mean, I have never, will never, and I will constantly be annoyed by people who do. And even if they are 100% right, I will still write snarky responses on their Google review.
Really?
Yeah.
No, yeah, as long as you're cool with it, that's fine. I think that's all that matters. It's your business. You can do whatever you want, man.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. Bye. That's funny. That's funny. So, on that note, it is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? I'm going to go first. I've got 3-chord here. Cask finished 3-chord. Here we go. Slide on the set. Okay. Explosive.
Yeah.
Not really. All right. Next up is Darren.
I got some Dancing Goat High Rye Bourbon from the ABV Barrel Shop.
Okay. I've somehow managed to hang on to a lead. What do you got there, Lenny?
I've got from Adventurous Stills out in Arizona. I've got some Fossil Creek whiskey.
Okay. Oh, sloshy. Good enough.
Loud.
But good enough. Loud but sloshy. So Lenny wins.
Good enough for government work.
Yeah, for sure. Cheers, gang.
Cheers.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about this guy getting in trouble in Tennessee. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, We are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
Welcome back to the bourbon. Oh God, Turner. Oh, Jesus Christ. If he's not
spectacular,
a disappointment every single time, it's a disappointment to me, honestly.
And you're listening to the Bourbon Daily with Stephen Becca.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Turner Wathen.
Everybody, welcome back. This is Steve Akeley, Darren McCroy, Lenny Eckstein here. We're talking about a guy in Tennessee that got busted. He was in a private Facebook group, so sometimes we think, "Wow, it's we're protected. This is a private group. No one can see in. Everybody knows everybody and whatever." And then this guy sets up a deal to sell a bottle at Cracker Barrel. So he at the Nashville Cracker Barrel. So he's gonna the deal's going down there at the Cracker Barrel, and it does go through. So the guy buys the bottle and then says, "Wait a second," and boom, hits him with a misdemeanor citation for possession, transporting, and selling alcoholic beverages for resale without a license. Boom, and I mean, I think it's more of a statement than anything that it makes national bourbon news, not necessarily national news. You know, you're not seeing about this on the local 5 o'clock news everywhere across the country, but in bourbon news, it's a big thing. But it also tells you how little enforcement they have of these things. If one guy getting busted at a Cracker Barrel in Nashville makes the news that they're talking, it should be, hundreds. And then it's like, oh, yeah. I might curb what I'm doing. When it's one person, it feels like, man, that poor bastard is an unlucky guy. But I doubt it really slows anything down. What do you guys think about this bust of a guy trying to sell a Lot B? At the Cracker Barrel.
Do you think they met for lunch or breakfast at Cracker Barrel? Or was it just a parking lot transaction?
I think it was parking lot, but that would have been a smart move, don't you think? Because you think the officer would have bailed if they'd been like, hey, you know what? Let's do lunch first. Let's do lunch.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, maybe he would have warmed up to him. Maybe the guy was like, I got your lunch. You're buying this bottle from me.
Right.
And maybe he would not have gone down with this felony charge.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't misdemeanor, but yeah.
Okay, misdemeanor charge, yeah.
Yeah, with the charge. He just wouldn't, Or he'd have been like, dude, I got to go bust some people. I don't have time for this. That's not what he would have said, but he'd just been like, you know what? Just forget it, man. Deal's off. And then leave.
Lesson learned to those,
buy the Cracker Barrel meal. Yeah.
Invite him to lunch or breakfast.
Right.
Or whatever.
I think
You
that's
know, you get
that could have
Cracker
been
Barrel
a
sandwiches.
very different story if that it would have been officer has meal at Cracker Barrel. Nothing else happened. That would have been the story.
Not national news.
Right. Yeah, we wouldn't be reading about this right now. So yeah, okay. What do you think, Darren?
So I kind of think this is a big old nothing burger.
Yeah.
The guy got a misdemeanor, not even a felony.
Yeah.
And
when I saw this citation, by the way, I thought this is a big deal because I see possession, transportation, selling alcohol beverages without a retail license. Whoa, that sounds like there's a lot going on there. Oh, misdemeanor. Okay. And it's a single one. It's not like, each one of those, the possession of it, the transportation of it, the selling of it, not having a license. To me, it sounds like it could be 4 things there. No, it's just one misdemeanor. Yeah.
And my question I'm wondering is if the fine for the misdemeanor is more or less than he sold the bottle of lot B for. Because you could easily see a world that it was actually less than what he sold the bottle for.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing he doesn't get to keep the money because he sold it illegally. But still,
yeah. So they take your money back.
bottle. Here's your $500 fine or whatever.
Right. And then that bottle becomes part of evidence, and they don't get that back either. So he loses his bottle, and it doesn't get the cash for it. We're assuming. So yeah. I mean, I don't see how they would let you keep the money when you've just sold that illegally. So yeah. Doesn't sound fun.
I think it will be in the evidence lockup before it strangely goes missing. I don't know.
It's not us working there. You know, if we were working there, we'd be like, hey, let's crack this
cocaine
thing.
Or something. It's whiskey. It's something that you could take home and open and be completely. Oh, I bought that a couple years back, and
I don't even know. I maybe I'm just like ignorant to it, or I don't scratch deep enough. But I don't even know where you find secondary bottles, and maybe everyone listening to the Bourbon Daily is like, you don't? But I don't. I mean, I wouldn't know where these Facebook groups are. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
savvy enough, I guess.
I would assume they're trying to be covert. So, but you could ask the right people. There'd be certain people that we know, even that you know, Lenny, that you could be like, hey, I want to start dabbling in this, and where can I go? I think there are these groups
Cracker Barrel.
Yeah. Apparently, just go to the Cracker Barrel. Shit's going down there. Yeah. Hey,
you won't get in any trouble if you just open up your trunk and start selling liquor in front of a Cracker Barrel. Yeah. Nothing will go wrong.
Yeah. I mean, if we walk up on that transaction and we see the bottle flashed, can we say like $20 more than whatever he's giving you? And would that have gotten him out of trouble? Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe they get 2 people. I don't know. It's a 2 for 1. Yeah. My dad was a policeman famously, and one of his best evidence disappearing ones ever was he arrested a guy that was getting ready to throw a pie in the face of the mayor. So they arrest the guy, they get the pie before it gets thrown and all that. They take the pie, can't put it in the evidence locker room, so they put it in the refrigerator to hold it. Well, they come in to go get the pie because then they got a place where they're officially going to store it, and there's a cop in there eating the whole goddamn pie. He's got the fork, and he's just finishing off a whole pie.
That's not a slice.
Yeah, not a slice. The whole damn thing. Who eats a whole pie? Number one, who eats a whole pie? That's not theirs, by the way.
I do.
No, yeah. Okay. Well, number 2, though, who throws like a legitimate pie in?
Right. It should be the shaving cream, right?
What was it? Was it like, apple pie? Cherry pie? Like, what a waste. I thought when you pie someone, it wasn't really pie. It was maybe like a pie pan full of whipped cream or something. Like,
right. Exactly. No, this was a real pie. I do think it was like a lemon meringue type of pie because it had the cream on top or whatever. And the guy, like I said, they had to let the guy go. Then they were like, we don't have the evidence now.
Hey, I actually have a distillery related pie in the face story. Sorry for the tangent.
Okay, no, this is good.
So maybe it's a thing everywhere, but there was a while, especially like one restaurant in particular in town where when it was someone's birthday, they got a pie in the face. Okay. But again, it was whipped cream in a pie pan that got thrown in their face. So not that bad. Not a waste of pie or anything. So a while back, Mike, who our recently departed head distiller, he used to be a bartender at Deerhammer, and this is convoluted. So wasn't his father-in-law because he wasn't married, but the girl he was dating's dad lives in town, and he wanted to pie Mike in the face for his birthday.
Okay.
So he comes back to me and says, "Do you have any whipped cream?" And I was like, no, but we've got like cream, like heavy whipping cream. I was like, I don't know how to make whipped cream, but we could probably figure it out. So him and I, without really thinking too much about it, we just put it in a mason jar and shook it forever. And I think it actually turned into butter or something like that.
It'll turn into butter, yeah.
Because it got really thick. So we're looking at it and he's like, whatever. So he pours it into a pie pan and then he flings it at Mike and plants it right in his face. And Mike took it well, and it was kind of like a combination of thick, runny, disgusting. But the next day we found out it scratched Mike's cornea because it was like a clump of butter hit him in the eyeball. So I mean, that was
butter can scratch your cornea? Who knew?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, pie to the face injury.
Pie to the face injury. Yeah, that's embarrassing. Yeah. So who'd have known that we bring up a pie in the face and you've got a story?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I wish I could go. Okay, for the third part of the story, I don't got one.
Yeah.
Pie in the face attempts were successful. There was no injuries, no nothing. It was just a good old pie to the face. It was never a real pie, though. It was always whipped cream.
Yeah.
I went to Ross Tumbarello's 5th birthday party when I was a kid. He was in my kindergarten class with me. And
shout out to Ross.
Yeah, shout out to Ross, wherever he is. I don't know. Ross Tumbarello, where are you now? I have no idea. Probably. He's a Tennessee man, to bust truth. But at his, of course, we watch the Stooges and all that, and they're always throwing pies in the face and stuff like that. And we got done with the cake, and there's plenty of cake left over, and he asked his mom to throw it in his face, and she did. And I thought that was the coolest thing. At 5 years old, after watching all those years of the Stooges and all that, I wanted the pie in the face, but I don't want that anymore. I got a beard. I'd be in there for days. I don't want that.
Yeah, it would be such a mess.
That sounds horrible. And if you can't clean up right away, it's dried in there and all that. Oh, God, it sounds terrible. But yeah, at Ross Tumbarello's birthday party, man, I wanted that. I thought that was awesome. I thought his mom was great. I thought, wow, man, that's a mom right there. That's a mom. My mom would have just beat me if I would have asked for that. She would have been like, yeah, I'll slap you around a little bit. So, yeah, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right. On that note, we'll wrap this one up, as we always do, by talking about where people can find us. Darren, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram with all of my successful pied in the face stories at the Bourbon Adventures.
All right. Ross Tumbarello, where can we find you? Oh, damn it. Lenny, how about you? Where can people find you?
People can find me and the rest of Deerhammer on social media at Deerhammer, on the web at deerhammer.com, where you can order our bottles online, shipped straight to your door. And you can come visit me.
And Sealbox money.
Oh, that's right. Sealbox as well. Sealbox money. Come visit us in beautiful Buena Vista, Colorado.
For me, come by and see them. Yeah, for sure. For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That one's abvnetwork.com. That's the one you got to check out. We put all of our previous shows out there. So if you're wanting to hear an old interview or something like that, or anything from the history, or any of our 3,000 shows or our blogs, whatever you name it, it's out there. abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us, the ABV Barrel Shop. We're working hard to bring you the greatest whiskey in the world, so check us out online, abvbarrelshop.com. You can sign up for our email and text distribution right there. We ask that if you like the show, give it a 5-star review. It helps new people find it, particularly when you leave comments. That helps them know how much you like it. And also, if you want to get involved, head over to patreon.com/the ABV Network. Great job today, guys. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
See you guys.
Bye, y'all.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papa's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.